Hello, welcome to the channel. Yeah, so let's just get into this. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe and all that stuff. Anyway, let's skip. Let's skip this because this is the intro, and let's actually skip into chapter 1.
On and on, just so he can get some of that money, you know, because that's all he cares about at the end of the day. He will normally drag out these videos to 8 minutes or even longer if he wants to. So Rev, instead of actually repeating yourself over and over again, maybe try to get to the point and stick to the point so your videos will be shorter. I mean, you really see me do that shit because I actually get to the point in my videos, and that's why my videos have been short recently. Also, Rev does another genre of content on his channel, and this kind of content is kind of degenerate. If you haven't already, then you'll know that I mean.
Yeah, this is my point about him having a bias against lewd content. Also, my whole thing with that as well, that it seems like Mythical completely ignores the discretion of the parents to monitor their kids, stuff like that, so they don't go into this lewd content. There's so many things like you can turn off. I'm pretty sure there's restriction mode. You can have your kid's account on your phone where you go in and you just check on it. You can even, that sort of thing to make sure they're not watching anything that's inappropriate. And it's not the content creator's responsibility for the kids. I mean, you've heard all that before.
Made a video on this other VTuber called Fifi. If you've seen that video, then you know what type of content I'm on about, what Rev makes, and my stance on it. I'm not a big fan of sexual content being on the platform YouTube, mainly because kids use this platform, and I know there's going to be a few Rev fans who are going to argue that, hey, YouTube Kids a thing, so why don't they use that? Well, it's common knowledge by now that kids don't use YouTube Kids at all, and kids confuse sexual content very easily, and I'm not a big fan of that because that just makes me uncomfortable to think about.
Well, no, we know the real reason why YouTube Kids isn't really that good either, because there's been some content that's gone on there that is not for kids at all. If anything, I would recommend. By the way, this isn't like I'm not like an expert or anything, so don't take this advice to heart. But I'd recommend, if you're a parent, like talk with your kid. Just talk with your kid, like, yeah, I'm gonna check it. Just be honest with me, that sort of stuff. Or if they're very young, and you just want to plop them down into YouTube for like an hour or so while you're cooking or cleaning, or like maybe you have to go out and get some stuff, that sort of thing. Just make their account and then just make a copy of that account on your phone. Literally just sign into their account on your phone and stuff like that, or like on another device. So whenever they're done, you can take it like every week or something and just check and just do a quick skim of the content that they're watching. It's that easy. It's that easy to check on the content. It's like you probably could take like 10 minutes, quickly skim through it, just generally look at all the thumbnails and stuff like that. Maybe even pop into the video to have it at like 2 times speed. But
the fact that Rev has a fan base by making this type of content just says a lot about his fan base overall. Most of his fans are just like degenerate, cringy VTuber losers.
Yeah, and this is about the stuff about the fans. Now with this, by the way, I'm playing it on 2 times speed because it's just honestly, it seems very long-winded. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Done. Okay, so now let's get on to the topic on why Rev is a dishonest loser. So Rev likes to twist up words of other people so it fits his narrative. For one example, he tried making it look like that Mythical was defending Lolicon when he really wasn't.
So in case you didn't catch that, there was actually Mythical, aka Charlie, in the background of that video, which I think is pretty funny. His views on this is pretty wishy-washy in the videos that he appears in with nuts, but I think there's one clip in particular that really speaks to where Charlie stands in this whole thing.
And for some fucking reason, Twitter being the cesspool that it is somehow brings anime into this, talking about, well, why is Judy such a big deal when anime has kids being sexualized? Well, first of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that existed for 2 millennia, they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things.
So obviously,
well, that, by the way, I would like to say, Mythical's defense Lolicon, he did. Those are defenses for Lolicon. He states one, they're fictional, and comparing them to QVs is dumb, and that they aren't comparable.
it's pretty funny to compare these two takes that somehow strangely both bring up this whole 5,000-year-old whatever.
It's kind of fucking pathetic that you have to make it look like Mythical was defending Lolicon when he really wasn't whatsoever. I mean, he was comparing it to a movie that actually sexualized real kids, and everyone with a normal brain would come to the same conclusion that sexualizing real kids is a lot worse than sexualizing anime kids. Don't get it twisted, I still think that the whole concept of Lolicon is disgusting and there should be no excuse for it whatsoever, but I'll get onto that later on. But I do have a clip to prove that Mythical doesn't really like the whole Lolicon thing and he finds it weird and disturbing.
How weird that every single anime and manga focuses on, like, kids when it doesn't need to. And it's always so fucking awful, like the lolly shit. I hate that. I am not a fan. And it's...
Oh, also, by the way, just because he goes it's weird and disturbing, and Moist Critical is saying that he's not a fan of this sort of stuff, is not an indication that that it is nonsense or that that is pedophilia. He's not saying that when he's saying that he's not a fan of it. He's simply saying that he's not a fan of that content. But in the clip, prior what he showed us, he defended it by going, "You should not be comparing this to Q's, which exploits children." That was his whole thing. So he was defending Lolicon, and he also was going, "Don't compare this to actual exploitation of children." To try and go and say that he wasn't doing that, this seems disingenuous.
For some reason, it's such a contentious debate. For some reason, I don't get it. It should just be pretty open and cut as weird. Now, of course, there's no real victims with lollies and all that, but that doesn't make it any less disturbing. And in this documentary, they follow around a guy they met at this convention. I absolutely can't show a lot of this on stream, but
Also, an annoying thing about this, I would like to say, is that where are the dates? Because some of this stuff doesn't have dates, videos, or there's no links. At least from what I saw in the description, when it comes to where he gets his definitions from or something like that. Because that's a big problem when you're trying to prove something and going saying Lolicon is pedophilia and stuff, right? It's good to make sure that when you're citing you cite your sources. You get a source, you get the script, you get like a definition, and you link it in the description or something like that. That's what you usually do, so that then people can go and actually look and check and see if it's true. But it just seems because you're on your channel, it's like, oh, everybody's just gonna agree with me anyway, so I don't actually need to do that. I don't need to cite my source or anything. I can just talk and go, yeah, it's just common sense, guys. Which we literally could use, but like, just drop my drink.
I just want to show the guy. So they actually go to this guy's house, and he is a manga illustrator. Damn it. And he talks about the first thing he wrote being a manga about a high school girl who keeps getting gang raped, and she starts to like getting raped. And it was for a magazine called Rape, I believe the publication was called Rape. And he talks about how like normal it is and how it's fine, like it's good because there's no victims. He himself also admits to being attracted to children, and this prevents him from like actually going out and doing things to children.
There we go then, that's one of his takes on the whole Lolicon thing. And I know that the Red
Yeah, that's one of his takes, but you're saying that take basically over as the other take. You're saying that take contradicts his other take when it doesn't. At that point, he's saying that you think it's fucked up and weird. Personally, that's what he's saying. But that doesn't contradict his other statement where he goes, you shouldn't be comparing this to actual exploitation of kids. Those don't contradict each other. Also, with the other video, we could actually date that. Date the fucking videos. I'm actually kind of annoyed at that because I'm just realizing I'm gonna have to find that video. I watched the other one through the video that he referenced to see. No, it's the video that's coming up with like the bear scene and stuff. To actually watch that to reference it, so I could reference it in the script and stuff. But with the other one, I'm gonna have to probably find out, and that's gonna take me forever because there's no sign of the source. The only reason why I knew about the bear one is because that's recent. I actually saw that video before, or at least some of it.